Let's talk about it all with House Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte. He joins us now live. Great to have you with us.
You too, Shannon.
Okay, and I saw the announcement today that in the coming days, you've set a date for a hearing on the Inspector General's report that we're going to get next week on the investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails. There's a lot of investigating going on.
Sure
what are you looking to learn from the Inspector General's report?
Well, this is a very important report. We've been waiting for it for a long time. It was promised earlier in the year, then April, then May. Now we're hopeful that we're finally going to see it because it's going to answer a lot of questions about how the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice handled the investigation into matters related to former presidential candidate and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and contrast that with how they conducted the investigation and are continuing to conduct investigation into the so-called Trump-Russia collusion, alleging collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. And it's going to be very important to see this because, in my opinion, what we've already seen from the struck page texts and others is an incredible bias between how they handle these two major matters. We can't go into another presidential election and have the world's premier law enforcement organization conducting itself in that way. Reforms are underway, personnel changes are underway, but we've got to get to the bottom of the facts, and the Inspector General will help us do that.
Are you concerned, as some lawmakers are, and have publicly said that this is, and the president certainly has, that this Inspector General's report has been delayed? We know that there are a number of stakeholders that get to see it. They have their chance to comment, and the Inspector General could modify the report. Are you worried at all about that, or do you think it's just running its normal course?
Well, that's why we're going to hold the hearing. We're going to see the report. We're going to have the opportunity to interview the Inspector General, both the Judiciary Committee and the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, which Trey Gowdy chairs. We're going to hold a joint hearing, and we will delve into not only what's in the report in a classified setting, and then for the portions that can be unclassified in a public setting, but also ask about the process and any questions we have about who saw this and any changes they may have recommended and so on.
Yeah, because that's part of probably what he's been investigating. There were so many questions about the modifications of what James Comey, then FBI director, came up with, the wording, who changed it, what was changed. I'm sure those things will all be spelled out in this report, and you'll have a chance to ask those questions publicly as well.
We're looking forward to it. For a long time, we've been looking forward to it.
Okay, I want to ask you, too, about this meeting behind closed doors today with the GOP on the House side, talking about the matter of immigration. It's gotten to a very tense level, it sounds like, to those of us on the outside. The competing interests about what's going to be done about DACA, about forcing something to the floor. You have a bill you've been trying to get to the floor. What happened this morning? What can you tell us?
We had something that's been long overdue. We've been asking for a meeting of our conference on this issue, and it's now come to a head because of the discharge petition, because of pressure from also Freedom Caucus members, and that's a good thing that it's coming to a head. It's not a good thing if we go into a discharge petition process, because we could get a very unbalanced bill that doesn't reflect what the president needs and what the majority of the American people want in terms of enforcement of our immigration laws, while also doing something for DACA, which is what the bill I've introduced along with Mike McCall and Raul Labrador and Martha McSally, the chairs of the Homeland Security Committee, Immigration Subcommittee, Border Security Subcommittee. And that was the focus of the discussion this morning of the entire conference. We had many, many members speak up, and I think it was a very productive meeting, and I think it is leading towards a consensus, but we're not there yet.
Well, Congressman Steve King, obviously a fellow Republican of yours, says every one of the bills he saw that might come forward has amnesty in it. He says he just wants to see a bill that doesn't have amnesty in it.
Well, I think most people, including the president, have called for doing something appropriate for the DACA recipients. However, we have to, that's one pillar of President Trump's 4 pillars. The others also have to be met, and that's securing the border, closing the loopholes on amnesty and other aspects of illegal immigration, interior enforcement, and also making sure that we are moving toward a merit-based immigration system by ending extended family chain migration and the visa lottery. Those are all things that we're working on, and how you do that for the DACA recipients is the key to that. And if you don't have a special pathway to citizenship, in other words, something that only they can have, but something where they're eligible, but anybody who's followed the law is also eligible for, I think that is a much more acceptable course of action for the vast majority of our conference and for the American people.
Well, we'll see. You got to get to 218.
That's right.
We'll see what you can put together that can get there, get through the Senate, and get to the president. And those are a lot of big hurdles. So we'll watch. Chairman, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Shannon.
Good to see you.